What's good, everybody? It's your boy All Star Izzy. We are here live in effect. How is everybody doing on this beautiful night? You know what I'm saying? What's up with everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? Talk to me. We're gonna have a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I'm getting everything together. My apologies. What's up with everybody though? How's everybody doing tonight? It's a beautiful Friday, ain't it? So only five is first. Ooh, okay. What's up with everybody though? What's good? Great to see everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. It's our debate night. It's our open conversation, open panel. For people to come in. And even if you don't agree with everything that I say, which is, usually happens, correct? You're more than welcome to bring yourself and present yourself on stage and speak and let us know. What do you think? What do you believe in? Because as the title says, we're going to be speaking on what is better. Who's more happier in relationships? Who is more happy in dating? Now, we're going to also bring another topic in a little bit later. But, I see there's been just a lot of discussions. And plus, even in the last debate that we did last Friday, I actually had something very similar to it where I was thinking, I believe people in open relationships are probably a little bit more happier than those in monogamy. Now, the thing is, I'm not saying everybody, because if you are in a monogamous relationship or if you've been in monogamous relationships and it was very great, then that's one thing and that's your experience on your end. But also, from what I know from clients that I've spoken with, people that I've assisted, empowered, whatever the case is, there's a lot of complaints that when it comes down to monogamy, or so, a lot of people are lying to themselves whether they want that or not. So we're just going to have a discussion and let people come in to express themselves. And remember, if you have an expression and you say, hey, you know what, I think monogamy is better than open relationships, then I need you to do what I need you to do, excuse me, is to explain further as to why. One of the best things, and one of the things you're going to hear me say often in this conversation, and when I just go live in general, not even just for debate nights, but the thing is, when you say something, you have to communicate as to why. Even if you're just like, you know what, I'm saying this just because I feel it, then you're at least you're expressing that, because if you don't express that, no one is going to understand you and what you're saying. You may feel like, God damn, no one gets where I'm coming from. The thing is, we can't get where you're coming from if you don't explain your explanation. And it's always very well, excuse me, I'm trying to make sure I do this. My tripod actually fucked up recently. You know what I mean? But regardless, though, we'll allow some people to come in, and towards the 15-minute mark, what I like to do personally for myself is that I'm trying to adjust this as best as possible. So please bear with me as I'm doing this. But one thing that I really like to do is make sure that I allow people to come in to engage and pick their side, pick what they want to say, and explain a little bit further. We did have some people in the community that was explaining, giving their notes and, what they believe in to the conversation too. And that's what this is all really about. And of course, having to speak on topics like this and having to give my say and everything and create conversation with multiple people. You never know who's gonna come on this bitch and speak. You never know who the trolls are in this motherfucker. But what I'm thinking and what I like about all of these things is that it's not just picking a side. It's more than that. It's about why do you pick the side. It's about explaining. It's about looking at the situation for not only just two sides, but what's the truth to it. The truth for many times in situations is that people are always going to choose a side, and there's a lot to experience. Especially, one of the best ways to really experience it is to, well, experience and learn, but I say one of them is to understand both sides, or you live through, I was on this side and I've lived on this side before, so I understand what it's like when I'm not really there, or if I'm there, then I don't really know. When I understand it, I get to understand more. You know what I'm saying? So it's great things like that. But welcome in, everybody. It's your host, All Star Izzy. This is our debate Friday. This is where we're gonna have conversation. This is where we're gonna speak our minds and express our opinions. Be vocal if you want to. If you want, you're more than welcome to bring yourself on to the panel tonight. But always remember that that it's always cams on. Unless I've known you, then that's completely different, because you may be on the road, maybe you're not able to show yourself. But here's the thing: as long as I know you, we spoke on here, then you're good with me on my end, okay? But regardless of anything else, for the people that want to just come in, you gotta show face. You gotta make sure you show yourself to the people and everything. Live viewer comments. Okay, cool. That's what's up. But yeah, welcome in everybody. It's your host, All Star Izzy. Hit that like button when you come in, and make sure you subscribe whenever you do. I want to say thank you and shout out to everybody that's pulling up on this end. I want to say shout out to everybody, all the randoms, all the cool people, all the community. It's a Friday night, and I'm grateful that people choose to come and have an engaging conversation. There's a lot that goes on Friday because I mean, hell, look how we dressed up. What I'm saying, we fly with it tonight. I am going to be going to another panel right after this conversation. Right after this live, I'm going to get myself prepared because I have another conversation and live to go to. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my favorite cups, though. One of my favorite cups. Cheers. Cheers. We're drinking some sparkling water tonight. That's what we're sipping on tonight. Some sparkling water. I just enjoy the feeling of like sparkling water. I just fuck with it really heavy. But yeah, we can get into it. And as people are going, something came to me in my mind as well earlier. I was exercising and I stopped by this like pond and lake, and I was just having a great time. Just enjoying. I took my headphones off, put the phone away, and I really just sat there and just relaxed and just enjoyed my scenery and what happened. And where I'm at, there was a mad cop cars and ambulances that is passing by. It was a crazy speed chase that was going on in front of me, and it made me think. And if most people probably already noticed, but it made me come to this thought of we have it so well, bro. People have life so good. Even if you're not where you want to be mentally, where you want to be physically, when you're flirting with women, when you're talking to women and all that jazz, whether it's like that or not, whether you're feeling that type of way, just always remember that your life is still good. It's all about perspective and how you view these things, because you want to make sure that life can be challenging for some. It can have its challenges. Life can be a bit challenging at times, but when that occurs, always stay and remain grounded. Just always remember, express some gratitude, and let yourself know that goddamn, my life can be on a completely different end. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. Let me know if you guys can hear me well. I want to make sure that my sound is well. You know what I'm saying? I've never had any situations, any problems, but we still gotta make sure we discuss these things. We talk about them. So, we gonna have these combos and shit. But we do have the pinned up there at the 15-minute mark is when I start giving my spiel, when I start talking about things, because I want people to come on to here and talk about themselves. Let me know what you believe. Is monogamy, or excuse me, is open relationships better than monogamy in modern dating? There's a lot of goddamn problems with people, y'all. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of people that's messing up here and there. Give me one moment, please. I'm going to put this into my Discord and let everybody know that I'm live. So just give me one brief moment, please. Let's see. Let's keep this up. Okay, everything sounds correct. I'm glad that everything sounds right. Let's have this. Let's share it out. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for stopping by. It's your host, All Star Is. We are doing this. Listen, live in effect. Live in effect. And we got some people watching, but we got some people that's not necessarily voicing themselves. But yeah, you know what? That's cool. There's a lot of secret watchers out here. We do host after hours, but that's more spontaneous than when we host those things. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a thing that we just kind of plan, because that's what kind of takes the fun. Maybe I can have a day where I know I go live. Maybe like Saturday at 2 a.m. or some shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're still creating it so much as we go. Give me one brief moment. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in. Excuse me one more time. All right. Live right now. Join me. Live right now. Join me tonight at everyone. Gotta make sure we're all good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the real people. Shout out to the folks that, take their time out to say what's up. Take the time out to just enjoy and vibe and shit like that. It's been a hot minute since I wore a dress shirt, better, the black dress shirt. I used to be in a like orchestra and band, so it made me think of that a lot. But I forgot how much I like dress shirts and shit. Like I really love fancy luxurious clothing. Just that shit is just fire as hell. But regardless though, it's just this conversation is up for debate. I've there was actually this lady where she said she believes monogamy is better, right? Because I do pose on Instagram, and when I did, I asked her, what would be the reason? Why do you believe that? She was just saying it's a personal experience. But I asked, well, is there any other reason to it? Because it's not just I want you to just say it's your personal experience. I mean, you explained yourself, but it's why else though? In your personal experience, but why was it better than open relationship? Because it sounds she probably was in an open relationship before, probably having that, and being able to experience both sides. Just like I said, she understood both sides possibly. But I wanted to know more so that way I could have shared it with y'all. But she was, kind of a brick wall. It is what it is. Let people do that. But regardless, though, you know what I'm saying? We in the building. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up. This will be still posted. I still will post this out. Even if people aren't presenting themselves, that's fine. I mean, the show goes on. We gotta make this shit on the road. Listen, I'll stick to my commitment of what I got to do. And that goes to show for anybody. When you guys have things, you guys got commitments. Just make sure that you stick to it, that you stick to what you're doing. And you make sure that you present yourself. You speak on the topics regardless. Because I'm going to give my spill. Remember, at the 15-minute mark is then when I'm able to give my spill and I'm going to speak on it because it's more than just what I gotta make my statement on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to when I was just at the pond and shit. People have life so well. Even conversations when we talk about open relationships, monogamy, polyamory, or I believe that's how you could say it. I'm not too sure. I don't want to butcher it, but even when we discuss conversations and topics like this, it's just one type of topic versus what really goes on into the real life world and what people have going on. It's just seeing that chase and just I'm like, bro, people got life so well. Some people just take it for granted so much, of what they do. But regardless though, you know what I mean? We gonna still have this convo because I've had my fair share of experiences. Now I've never been in open relationships. A lot of what I'm gonna say was personal certain things that I've been into going forward once I get my spiel, but also with people that I've helped and assisted with their relationships, or people that I've talked to with monogamy and shit. Like people just get into it for the wrong reasons, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. It's your host, All Star Izzy for the night. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. If you're new, subscribe. Let's get this thing going. We're gonna get this show on the road. I appreciate everybody for taking their time out tonight. And shout out to those who are, coming around and still coming, pulling up by. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of you guys. We're having a good time right now. We're just enjoying the vibes, enjoying ourselves on this good ass Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Friday's usually traffic nights. You know what I'm saying? I was going to be with some people tonight, but the commitment of having to do what I got to do was greater than all those other things. But it is what it is. Shout out to those people, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, my name's All Star Izzy. Hit that like button, subscribe. We got a whole show ahead of us. We got a whole time ahead of us. We got to make sure that also after this conversation ends, I'm going to be on another channel at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So literally, it's probably going to be like a 5 minute break, and then I'm gonna go straight to another place because like I said, bro, we taking over the media and we're taking over the world, and that's how it got to be. Just for all of that shit, we're putting ourselves out there, putting ourselves on the maps. It's just fire. Shout out to those who are coming in. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, and hit that like button. And hey, if you're new. Or if you want to explain yourself, you want to talk on this conversation, make yourself known. Speak on these topics. You're more than welcome to. Mm. But, this is what we do on Fridays. And I really like it. I like how this can be on Fridays. The cool, nice pace. Hold on. Should I play some music? I don't think you guys can hear the music in the background. It's probably just my voice that you guys can hear the most. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep this up. Can't show too much chest. Shout out to all the ladies out there. Hold on. Give me a minute. Let me adjust myself correctly. There we go. That's pretty fire. What's up with everybody? Good to see everybody. It's your host, All Star Izzy. Listen, we have a good conversation tonight. We're gonna be talking about what does everybody think? Do you believe open relationships are better than monogamous relationships? We gotta talk on these things. We gotta have these conversations, you know what I mean? Because if you're not I mean, it depends if you're dating, because there's a lot of people that are dating, don't have too much of experience, don't really understand it, so they're on a whole. They might not even understand it truthfully, but it's always important to know what people believe in. Do you believe monogamy is better or open relationships? It's up to debate, right? And that's why I love debates. It's just everybody got their own goddamn perspective, and I'm like, fuck yeah. I love hearing people talk about shit because there's a lot of lifeless ass people here, but when people have genuine I feel like this shit is moving for some reason. But when people have genuine perspectives and they want to talk, and what I'm doing and what I'm learning is to aim that somewhere to where I can get with people who want to talk and address these things. But of course, not in a way where it's chaotic and disruptive. I want to be able to be passionate, of course, but also we can be moderate in how we speak and present to each other. Emotions can fly high, hell yeah. But at the same time, we got to be able to present our sides. So for everybody that's coming in, welcome in. It's your host, All Star Izzy. We are here for the debate night. Hit the like button on your way in and let me know, what do y'all believe in? Do y'all believe that open relationships are better than monogamy, or do you believe monogamy is better than open relationships? Or now we're at the 15-minute mark. Let's get into it. Really, there's a third option, and the third option is being single. And honestly, which I believe it, a lot of people could thrive in. But because dating and relationships is it's such a popular thing, just in life in general, not even now, like not a trend, not an era. It's just relationships have always been a thing. And so my end, when we talk about our open relationships better than monogamy. So here's what I got to say before I give you my answer. Because, it's not just about choosing a side, it's about explaining and then giving the point of the answer. Because one can say monogamy is better, one could say open relationships better. But the only way anything will ever be better than the other is how did the man and how is the relationship in harmony between man and woman. That is the only way that it can genuinely be better than the other person, because there's constant, there's mad relationships that are here that are based on a foundation that's false. They're based on being like a surviving. You're just trying to survive off of each other. You're using each other for comfort. There's no genuine desire. There's no genuine love. Honestly, that's what I believe a partnership is. I think a partnership is when you're getting together because financially it makes sense. Or you know what? We can't get nobody else, so let's just be with each other. Or I you can't get this person. You know what? I want this other guy, but this other guy's not willing to settle down. So what I'm gonna do tonight is fucking decide. What you know what? Like we talked about Tom. And if you don't know who Tom is mainly the Simps, the guys who will be a walking mat for the women in the life. If you're a Tom, you're gonna be someone she settles for. Because Clarissa, right? Shout out to the Clarissa, but Clarissa really wants an all-star. But the all-star may not want to settle down at the time. Who knows? But the thing is, Tom, you're continuously providing validation. You're consistent, you're competent in what you do and how well you make me feel. So you know what? Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Tom, come on, let's get into a relationship. And those relationships can last for years, but it's not real. Okay, that's a partnership. That's a dynamic where we're both gonna be here together just for some shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, just give me one brief moment. I want to make sure that the comment section is working correctly. I'm not sure if it is because I do see folks that's here or coming in, and I want to make sure everything is there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Let's go back into the program. Maybe folks do not want to speak on certain things. It is what it is. People are just gonna watch and enjoy the show regardless, or whether they're in and out. Either way, we're gonna make this shit pop. But back to what I was saying. Great to see you, Elena. Thank you. Thank you for your apple. I appreciate the apple. I'm gonna put it. Thank you. Looks great and shiny. I'm gonna put it right here, right on the part of my desk. Thank you for the apple. I appreciate you. Elena, what do you believe in? Do you believe open relationships are better than monogamy, or the other way around? Ladies of Atta, great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everyone for stopping by. So, are we talking about dating? Yes, we are. And this case specifically about which do people believe is better? Driving professor, intelligent professor, a philosophical professor, a financial professor, a loving professor, all the above. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we are talking about dating, but in this case, we're talking about what is better, open relationships or monogamy, in the sense of what do people believe thrives better in dating, you know. And what I was giving my spill about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm dry. Oh, wowzers. Okay, my fault, my apologies. But I can teach you how to drive too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you though. Thank you for stopping by. Uh Regardless though, like what I was talking about. is that you old school. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Shout out to the old schools. You know what I'm saying? This is the younger cats, the younger side, the younger generation on this end, you know what I'm saying? All that. But we welcome everybody, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're 18 and up for sure though. But anyways, what I was really having a conversation about and talking about my point, I believe any side is better than the other based on how it's created, the foundation, how how is the leadership, how is the communication, how is the honesty? It was this a settlement? Because to me, I believe a partnership. When they talk about partners in dating, I don't. I think partnerships are like this makes sense, so let's do this. Financially, this makes sense. This makes sense for us to be together. That don't make no sense. That to me is, you know what, we agree on it, let's do it. But if it works for y'all, then fuck it, okay. But I come from a place where when I speak and I assist my clients for relationships, I don't just assist them with what do you want to settle for. I assist them to get the desires and have desires, express them freely, to get the desired results that they want. The sex, the combos, that oh, I want her obsessed with me. That's let's slow your rolls. But I can assist you, but it really just begins with who you are as the individual and how is this relationship going. That's the only way one side can be better than the other. The monogamy can be better versus then the open relationships based on how it's built and if they want it together. Because there's disruptive harmony is what I like to call it, and there's harmony. Harmony is people on the same page. This is what we want. Disruptive harmony is settlement. It's whatever settling and all that bullshit. That's disruptive. That's not real. That is not. You're not on the same page together. Your pages are completely different. One is on chapter 3. The other is on chapter 15, ready to close the book, but they decided to keep it open for some goddamn reason. Elena says, honestly, if we are talking about dating, I feel like you should be able to date other people while you're getting to know the person. Of course, hell yeah, I believe the same thing. You know, and I like that you put it for dating because I mean, I completely believe that. I believe that if like so, I know women have told me before they're like, if we're like, I don't even see, I don't really be dating. What would we classify as dating? See, now that's a good convo. If we had to classify dating, I think dating is like going on dates and all that and all that jazz and being seen together in public. Like that's what I classify as dating. A lot of people have it so differently, but I'm like, no, that's what dating is. You're going out to date. But if we're talking in the sense of that, I agree 1,000%. I think you should definitely see more. I want you to see more people. That's the thing. Because the thing, I'm not even trying to, I don't want to chain you around these parks. I want you to be able to see other people while you're seeing me too. I'm not insecure about them type of things. I'm not insecure about who you want to go see. I'm not insecure about what you're going to do. 9 times out of 10, no. Let me, fuck being humble. 10 times out of one, I always dominate. I'm a domineering person. I can't help it. But regardless, enough about me. I believe, and then when it comes to open relationships, the only reason I would say open relationships are better than monogamous relationships is based on the communication, honesty, and freedom that the individuals have together. That dynamic and harmony, it blows 90% of monogamous relationships because of those three keys that I just named. A lot of monogamous relationships are built off of superficial standards, superficial shit. These motherfuckers don't really like each other like that, but they're doing it. Or maybe they're in a relationship because they had a kid. They fucked up and have a kid. He came at her. They went raw. They was in it. They felt it. Had a goddamn kid. And now, you know what? Hey, we got a kid. Let's just do it, right? Let's get into a relationship. But you see, that is not. It's just that. See, now that makes logical sense, but it doesn't make sense in the way of, do you believe this? What this really is? That's my biggest problem with monogamous with just relationships. Period, is the way they get into it, how they get into it, why are they in those relationships. Again, if it comes into everybody's on the same page, all power to you. But there's a lot of people in this dating manosphere, or in this dating sphere in the world, who get into relationships. They're dating off of just bullshit, man. People don't truly get to know themselves. They don't understand what they're really doing. They don't understand what a connection is, what communication is like, what it's like to to flirt and have a slow burn, have a conversation, get to know the individual. Not in the sense, let me tell me about your past traumas, not like that, but to see the individual for who they are versus how you want to see them. Because I made this video where I was talking about stop trying to fuck the idea of her and fuck her for who she is. You fuck the idea because you're looking at the beauty and pedestalizing it, and you're doing everything just to get between them legs. Listen, we don't even need to get that far yet. I haven't even thought about. I mean, you look good, but I haven't even thought about sticking my shit inside of you because I'm taking my time with you. I need to see who you are first before I even think about getting myself there. You know what I'm saying? The sexual tension can be there and all day, but that don't mean nothing if there's no compatibility when it comes to our chemistry and how we speak to one another. All that jazz. Elena says, yeah, that's what I see as dating. Yeah, for sure. But that's my take on it. You know what I mean? But if you had, Elena, if you had to speak on, or for whomever's coming in, by the way, thank you for stopping by. If you're new, hit the like button. And also subscribe if you're new. You know what I'm saying? We doing these convos and having debates. Anybody is more than welcome to join up. You must have your cam on and you have to be 18 plus. We're having grown ass, adult ass conversations. Okay. This is what we do on our end. We speak on these things for good conversation and more. But what would everybody say? Which is better? Which would be better? Because there's been some people in the community who has said they're in, but it's definitely a lot to. You just gotta choose a goddamn side. Even if you're just if you just want to disagree with me, that's nothing new. But if you just want to be like, man, fuck you, monogamy's better. Do your thing, then say why. Tell me why. Why you so mad? Lenny says I had something to say, but it's a lot to say. It's about experience I had in an open relationship. Well, you're more than welcome to join in the live. You don't have to. You can. I definitely encourage to keep your cam on, but because we've been on a panel before. I know who you are, so it's not like you're just some weird troll. But you're more than welcome to come and communicate and speak on an experience if you like that. The link is right there. You're more than welcome to join and just let me know. There's no judgment. Ain't nobody gonna be here on some bullshit. And if they do, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna have to escort their ass out. But regardless, that is my thing. Now, here's the thing. I've never been in an open relationship. I could have been in open relationships plenty of times. The thing is crazy too. There was this one point in my life where I was attracting a lot of women who were in open relationships. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was meeting back to back women who were in open relationships because they would tell me, like, I remember when I first was happening, yo, boxing, what's good with it? What's up with it? What you think, boxing? What you believe in? Do you believe open relationships are better than monogamy in modern dating, or do you believe monogamous relationships? Motherfucker. Excuse me, I'm tripping over my words. My apologies. These goddamn big ass words. Which one do you believe is better? All right. But again, I remember when I first not even experienced but learned about it. Like it's crazy to say, like even when I was younger, I would always be in experiences with women where there was multiple women who were also involved. So I was like almost in like open relationships with women. I'll be with one woman, but then there will be like other women too in that circle, whether I was fucking with both of them, three of them, or they were also fucking with each other. And it's crazy to say now, but I'm reflecting on it. But it's the truth. I have been with women with like a lot in my early, like when I was younger, like teens, bro. I was always around that. Still am. But that's neither here nor there. Boxing says, I think the open ones are the more honest ones as long as there isn't any insecurities. I completely agree. One point I was giving boxing is that the only way one can be better than the other is based off of the foundation of how their dynamics are. That's the only determinant, the only factor. Most of monogamy is based off of fear and insecurity. It is based on scarcity. It's based on a lack of experience. It's also based on your simp bullshit that motherfuckers be having in the modern day. I love her so much. That's my only girl in the world. All right, bro. You put so many goddamn chips and eggs on the table basket, you're cooked when she leaves your ass. That's that. Get that simp shit out of here, bro. We not simping for that shit. Tell them simp ass. We shout out to Zechariah because he said we need simps for sure. I mean, we all know this, but at the same time, it's true. Keep them. We got to keep these simp ass motherfuckers in here. But anybody who is learning the All Star way, anybody who's learning what we doing, what I'm teaching, what I'm preaching, you're gonna understand what the hell is going on, and you're not gonna be no goddamn sim. And if you do, you ain't for this shit. You need to get the fuck out of my face, and you're wasting our community time. We're not here to just bullshit and be on some simp ass shit because it's not even about being a simp. What it's really about is who the person is. You see, simp is just like that layer over who the person is. This how they present themselves and bring themselves. It's more than just who the fuck you are trying to present. And that's why I don't fuck with those motherfuckers like that. And that's why I don't like that's why we preach what we preach. Because when I hear that, when I see that, there is a lack of something in those individuals. And whether you want to know it or you want to be honest with it, you will see it. You will know it. That's why simps get a lot more bitches than I do. But that's because I got standards for myself. Like when I talk about don't fuck the idea of her, fuck her for who she is. Motherfuckers be like, oh, you trying to get all deep, trying to get to know it. Man, fuck, I don't give a fuck about knowing her goddamn astrology sign who knows she is. I 9 times out of 10, we don't even know each other's name. And she don't even know who my last name is. It don't even matter. She don't even know I do what I do. That's because I'm not in it to get to know those certain things that you guys pedestalize, but you guys only do it for sex. I do it because I need to see if you're going to be compatible with me in my conversation. I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to bring you up to my level in my convo. If you're not able to be there, I'm out this bitch. That's what standards are. Boxing says, yeah, you say it's okay, honey. It's okay, honey. Go out and see someone else, and then she comes home smiling, and now you and your feelings. That's you see. That's what I'm saying. They see what these motherfuckers is doing. They're oh my god, this is some goddamn actors. But these motherfuckers is like, I'm trying to I'm gonna act like I'm okay. I'm gonna act like I'm secure. But deep down inside, I fucking hate that she's going out. I hate that she's going. Like, why can't she just stay at home? This is him talking to his friends. So we got Tom, we got Tom, Brad, and Cooper, all three in the conversation. Man, I really just don't like that she goes out. Why can't she just stay home? Why does she need to go out? I bet somebody's trying to hit on her. Motherfuckers are just masking those insecurities, bro. And here, and I said, and I believe I was in when I was talking about why I should never be a Captain Saberho. You know, because, and I see your comment box, and I'll get to it in a second. But you know, a lot of people that get into relationships or they love bomb and they ghost or whatever the case the fuck it is, they're just they're just using women as distractions. A lot of men are use women as distractions from themselves. That's why I don't fuck with that simp ass shit. You're distracting yourself, and you wonder why the relation gets fucked up or why shit gets burned on. Cause of you. You're using shit as a distraction. Too much pleasure that you're dealing with. You're wanting to do too much and project too much protection and shit like that. Re fucking lax, bro. Okay? Because I guarantee you give her all that, she's gonna sneak outside and I'm gonna fuck her. And then she's gonna go back to you and have a good time. Let me look at your comment. Simps love saying it ain't simping if you got it. Yeah, man, fuck all that too. But what happens when that day comes and you no longer have it? Can you still get women? Exactly. Because most of these people they get Jesus. They get women off of mirroring them or trying to learn what she likes or trying to look on her profile and stalk her social media. I don't give a goddamn about none of that. Everybody, if you have a great understanding of shit, you got some game, you understand social media is not everything that you got to see, bro. I've been with women who look incredible on social media, but behind scenes, this bitch is dirty car, barely full of anxiety, doesn't know how to drive, is kind of awkward in person, is a bit weird until she opens up. Yeah, everything is not what it seems, y'all. But that's why I say, and that's why I believe open relationships are better than monogamy. Guarantee you. Most of the standards, most of the conversations, most of the shit that people be talking about and doing, open relationships are better because of the honesty and communication and how the foundation is built on. Anybody wants a good ass relationship in their life, take your goddamn time. And also, you have to have honesty and you gotta have good communication in this shit. And don't just get into something just to get to it either. But people just get into relationships just because they feel good. What kind of foundation is that? You're going based off something that comes in and out every single goddamn time, bro. They're buying her attention. They buy her attention they try to work their way to earn her attention. Man, we ain't doing none of that. We're not buying any attention. We're not earning attention. You have to earn it with me. You can have that same belief too. Women see, women can have the belief of he's gonna have to earn it with me. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. Okay, cool. Do you, shorty? But let me tell you something though. You can have that all you want, but when you're with me, it becomes a experience and also a humbling experience because I'm not like these motherfuckers who's gonna want to try to treat you well and dapper you down, do all these I don't give a fuck about none of that. What we finna do is have a good ass conversation. If I don't like it, you're out, and if you don't like it, I'm out. But it don't matter. It goes both ways. But let's not waste each other's time. Let's not waste any of us our time, anytime. But shout out to the people. Excuse me, we do have someone bringing themselves up. Oh, Elena just came into the building. Let's go ahead and bring her on. Oh, excuse me, one moment. Hello, hello.
Professor.
Hey, great to see you. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm not showing my face right now.
That's fine. I remember I told you I know who you are. You're not a troll or anything, so you're more than welcome to present yourself like this on stage. So anybody else that's listening to this that will listen to this, just because she's doing this, I know who she is. We've been on a panel, we had conversations, and if you want to be on that, you being like, what about her? It's not gonna work, dog. But after you, what brings you here tonight? How are you doing tonight? Talk to me.
I'm doing great today. I do want to let you know that if I do decide to join any other of your streams, I will show my face. I just wasn't ready for today's,
Okay.
so that's the only reason why I'm doing no face today.
Okay. Hey, no face, no case. No
Yeah,
face,
that's
no
what I was gonna
case.
say. Um,
Nice.
so I didn't hear what you were saying because I was entering the StreamYard before I got in. So
So basically, I was just talking about, I was going off on Simps. Boxing and I, we were having a conversation on Simps, how there's a lot more to it than just pedestalizing a woman. It's really like insecurities, a lack of something, just, I don't resonate with it. And I was also speaking on having conversation with women and bringing them to my world, not just I want to earn my way into your world. Let's both see if we have a mutual reciprocation of how we feel. That's what I like from with when I have conversation with women. It's not about me working your way and earning shit, and it's really not even you trying to earn my shit. We both got to see if we're just compatible in what we bring. Now, of course, I'm like, yeah, you got to earn your way with me because I could be a bit arrogant, but it's the best way is reciprocation, of course. But if you have any thoughts on that, you're more than welcome to speak on that. And I know that you said that you did want to speak on uh, experience with an open relationship, I believe, correct?
right, yes.
Mhm.
And I believe that honesty is the best going into a relationship or when you start dating. I think that you should express what you want from the relationship.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that also comes with like age too. Like sometimes, in my experiences, I've just gotten tired of like getting with somebody so fast that I didn't get to know the person like, and then end up, them being like a 360 like later on in the relationship and it just doesn't work out.
Mhm. And when
So,
you, I'm sorry, go
mhm,
ahead. I just had a question out of curiosity.
yeah.
When you meant fast, as in how fast, as in like okay, you guys meet, you fucking with each other, and you're like let's get into a relationship already. Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
mostly all of my like long-term relationships have like met me and then like within the first month or less, they've engaged me and then we've had like long-term, relationships. So, but I was just like I think at those times I was like, "Oh my God, yes, and I enjoy being in a relationship. I really do. I
Yeah,
enjoy having the company of a male around and feeling more like being more of a female in a way, you
yeah, yeah.
know. So yeah,
Now, so I got a question for that though. Of course, and you can be like, oh, I don't feel like answering. This is just me being on my professor carrier shit. But also, when you were talking about it became long term, like when it was long term, was it like a lot of ups and downs? Was it a lot of chaos? Was it a lot of arguing and shit? Like how? How was it? Because I've been in fast relationships before, and there was a lot of shit that happened. Just where like it was like, oh, crazy, or ultimatums too. But was there any like, when you said the 360? Was there like a lot of ups and downs when it was the long term relationships?
Well, I guess okay, so I've only had three long-term relationships. The first two, um, I never had a problem with like I would say like that person cheating or we just never had those kinds of problems. They were good, like good relationships. My last ex is when it was a whole 360. Like when I met him, what he told me he was going to be, completely changed after like a couple years.
Mm,
Yeah, it was almost with the last relationship, it was almost too good to be true in the beginning, and I was even asked, I was even questioning that. I was like, this can't be real. Like this is so good. Like, um,
mm.
I think, um, yeah, it was just that last relationship that was a whole 360. Now the other two relationships, I ended up breaking up with them because after a while they got boring.
Okay. What like how boring? Just like routine,
Well,
too
yeah, it was
comfortable.
really routine, and then like I would want to go do things like go out for a walk because I like to like do those things before like in those times,
Yeah.
and or go out and do something, but they were always like, no, I just want to stay home. They were those two were homebodies.
Okay.
Um, the last one wasn't. Um, so the last one wasn't boring at all, but it was just a like complete 360.
Now, if you and you don't got to speak on anything too specific because, of course, this is your private stuff. But like, what was the 360 exactly? Was it the behavior? Was it the attitude? Was it Of course, he said. I remember you said he made a false promise that he said he was going to be something for you, correct, or in your life. Now, what was it exactly that was the complete 360?
Oh, yes. Before I answer that question, I do want to, shed light on my other two relationships. They were really good guys, though. I'm not gonna
That's
say
the good
anything.
guys.
Yeah, they were good guys. If I look back, I would be, it was, I don't regret those relationships. I don't regret my ex either, but I
Mhm.
don't regret them either, and I kind of feel bad that I left them just because it got boring. But I needed something more exciting. But
Fuck with that. Thank you for your honesty.
But so the 360 is like when I first met him, he promised all these things, like I'm gonna show you I'm real, and he kept saying that like
Mhm.
I'm I'm real, I'm real. And he still says that too. But like
Yeah.
then I would just find like little lies, like or sneaky things, sneaky behaviors that I was never used to. So like I didn't know how to react to those kinds of things because I was never put in the situations that he put me in. Like um he would tell me he would stay at home, and then again, I was used to those homebodies.
Yeah.
And he was always leaving at night to go like uh party with his friends or go hang out with his friends, and I wasn't used to that either. I was used to like my man being home, with
Yeah.
me. But
Hmm.
he, and there were certain situations when he would come home, you know, that would involve drinking, and it was a lot for me, and I didn't know he was a drinker like that when because he told me he wasn't.
Yeah.
Um and stuff around that, like, and it was just there was no honest like honesty. The It was gone, like that was not there,
Hmm.
like truthfulness.
And was this the open relationship you were speaking on? Was this like
No,
the experience? Oh, okay.
that was before him.
Oh, okay. Now, before
Yeah.
we get into that, because I do want you to expand on that, because this is what this is all about. Just the conversations and everything. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of men that do that, and he was probably just insecure. On his side, just being like he don't want to miss out on you, or maybe you perceive him wrong. And I'm not trying to vouch for him at all, by the way. I'm just throwing it out there because I've assisted with clients that have done that ghost, or maybe somebody like a friend close to me, she's been ghosted for certain things, and I explain to her, and then the truth eventually always comes out. But you know Motherfuckers like that are just not really what they seem, especially when they give out those promises in the beginning, and then all of everything that came with. So yeah, that's different. That's quite the experience.
Yeah, he's honestly the love of my life though. Um, but uh, but
I fuck with the honesty. I mean, you just you hooked on.
yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get over him. I sometimes I ask myself that, but um, okay, so yeah, the open relationship was before him, but see that thing about the last one before him, he
Yeah.
was very truthful. He was honest. Like, if something was, up, he would say, "Hey, you know what? This is going on. This is how I want it." And then
Yeah.
I had that choice to decide if that's what I wanted to.
Hmm.
But when you're not honest and you just put somebody in a situation where like you don't know those sneaky things you're doing behind that person's back, then it's like you're not giving them a choice to choose like, do I really want to go on with this, or are you
Yeah.
going to just hurt me? And you know but yeah, the other ex was very truthful. So like, and sometimes his truthfulness hurt me. Like, it was like, dang, you really said that. But I respected that truth, and
Get that.
I knew that I could trust him.
But that was the boring one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the so this is just how me is like thinking about it, but like which one did you find or are you finding a lot better? And I think I know the answer, but I'd rather hear it from yourself. The honesty or the 360?
Which one do I find better?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think
It's honesty hours. Listen, you can be as honest as possible, or you don't got to be. You can, say whatever, but
I think
this is something.
honestly, at the end of the day, I must love him unconditionally.
Hmm.
Like, the love that I have for him is unexplainable. Like I can't like, I love him for who he is, like, and I don't know. It sucks how it had to happen, but he also, you know, gave me a lot of knowledge on how to move forward with other men, and then uh just their mindset on like, a lot of these men, I don't think can only be with one person. I think there is men out there that can and want to,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know if that's what they want to do. But the majority of the men that I've come across, after you know the 360X,
Yeah.
uh you know have the same kind of mindset that he did. And it's just like, they don't know him, so it's like, uh, and then you have this channel and it's kind of talking about the same things, and then there's like other YouTubers out here too that talk about the same thing about these men. And it's really hard. It's a hard pill to swallow because
Mhm.
it's the truth. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, I don't think, want to like, they want the truth, but they don't want to know that, like, they don't, I don't know how to say this, like,
It's like it's like ignorance is bliss.
yeah, like, yeah, exactly, like, they don't want to accept the truth even though they want the truth.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's a very crazy dynamic, but that's true. It's very true.
and after him, I can't really look at guys the same, like, being like, when you first meet a guy, like, he really wants to be with me, or does he really want to be with me, like, let's take it further and let's be friends. Like, I kind of want to be friends with somebody, moving forward. But anyway, like, if I know I'm talking about the ex that didn't do the open relationship, so if you want me to stop talking about that.
No, no, you're good because it's honestly, I mean, this is all about conversation. I'm not conversations go in many places. That's what like the art of it is, and that's why I love it. So you're more than welcome to speak on what you're speaking because honestly, it really just what was it? It shows a lot to what I just said before, and why I was speaking about certain men, simps, or people who lie, foundations, and why things are so destructive. They're beautiful, but they're destructive at the same time when there's false promises, when there's not time. to see who the individual is. Like even the comment you made earlier about dating multiple people, but also with seeing other people, but also dating somebody at the same time. It still just it falls into everything. So what you're saying isn't wrong. You're more than welcome to speak. And if I wanted to, by the way, I would let you know. I'd be like, hey, Ellen, time to wrap it up. But you're good. You're
Right.
speaking. We're having a conversation, so this is cool. But I like that you said that. Just talk about all those dynamics and just the hard truth to swallow. Because even the sometimes when both parties, like, because men also are very much the same, that they don't want to accept the truth. They can also be with someone who's like that on a certain level, or they can run into somebody who is more truthful and honest, but the other person may not be ready for that. So then, the dynamic will be, I will be with somebody who wants to be ignorant with me. Have you watched Sinners?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, spoiler alert for everybody. If you haven't watched it, get out of here. But there was, like, how they ended up together at the end.
Um,
Um,
the one that turned
Stack
into a
and
vampire,
yeah, Stack and Mary. Yeah,
like the first vampire, like the first one that went in.
yeah, yeah. Stack and Mary. Yeah. So that right there was like the twin brother and the other and lady, the other
Oh
lady
yeah,
who
yeah,
was
yeah. I resonated with that too.
yeah. That's see. Woo! I be on point, bro. I swear.
Yeah.
That's what, like, that's what that is. Both blinded, both wanting each other. And shout out to my brother Bryce. He gave me perspective. He was like, everybody got what they wanted, meaning like they both wanted to be together but couldn't, because she had somebody. He was like, I can't. I'm too trouble for you, but ended up together forever, anyways. But the thing is that both of them were wanting each other, but they were also ignorant to something, to like truth of shit. They were both on that type of level, so they both ended up together. So that's like when I seen that, I was like, ignorance is bliss, but that will always create a dynamic of people who want to be together off of what ignorance is. Like, if you don't want to know the truth, you're gonna be with someone who doesn't want to know it either, and you guys can just thrive together off of that.
Yeah.
Didn't be
Yeah.
getting too deep, so I be in my bag.
No, but I totally like that. The whole part with their parts, were all like, I resonated with all of it, and it was like, dang,
Yeah,
even the way he talked to her too was kind of like, disrespectful, but like, I don't know.
he don't. He no 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 no. He only did it because he loved her. That's why
Yeah,
he
but
was doing that. It was no other reason. Like, he was just talking
I've
like
heard
that.
those things to myself though, being said to myself. So it's like it was like me watching a play of like my life in a way, in
Mm.
a snippet. But
Nah, for real.
yeah. Uh, I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Thoughts come and go. That dynamic of it is when I seen that, and I actually have in my movie review. But when I seen that dynamic, I was like, this is what like monogamous relationships are really like. Like, those are a lot of relationships. They resembled it so well into the movie from what I seen. And I was like, yo, that's fire. They're just
Oh,
mirroring what a lot of people are. Like, that's
yeah,
how people genuinely are. They want to be with them, but they can't be with them for certain reasons. But that's what really makes it just be crazy as fuck. A lot of people are very into like destruction more than they want to admit. You know?
right, yeah. I would have to say me too, but I'm trying to work on that though. Um, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that honestly, okay, so when I wasn't in relationships, I've had like two experiences with two different men at different times of years. But
Yeah.
they clearly said, I'm not ready for a relationship, but I would like to have you around. And
Mm.
and it was fun because, I got to, you know, come over, do things, spend the night, or, watch, listen to
Yeah.
music, or
Girlfriend,
do
boyfriend
whatever.
vibes.
Yeah, stuff like friend, boyfriend
Golly.
kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But those were like the most fun because even though like I wasn't tied to them, like we weren't together, it was fun. I think that's why I like, I'm so like with my ex, that because even though it sucks, I wish
Yeah,
he was honest because we decided to get in a relationship and he said he wouldn't be like that. It would be different if he would have said, hey, this is what it's gonna be like the friends that told me,
yeah.
and yeah. So I was gonna say that I find those I don't know they were never boring. Those ones were never boring. The ones that didn't claim me, in the beginning, So
You see, I think, one day you'll run into is what I like to call it, an all star who can be honest but also exciting at the same time. Because I hate boring shit myself. Like I hate boring shit. I I literally leave dates with women. It'd be the first 5 to 10 minutes, and I have conversation. And if I think it's boring, I'm telling I think you're an amazing lady, but I'm out here. This is not for me. And I get out that bitch. Should be mad boring around these parties, man. I know there's a lot of fun women, but if I don't fuck with it, if I don't feel it, I'm out that bitch. So hopefully, which I'm sure soon, maybe possibly, who knows? Um, you will get. I'm pretty sure you will get an individual like that. That can be truthful, but also and exciting as well. Cause it's like you can. I think what you like you fuck with the honesty and shit, but you also fuck with the fun too. So
yeah, yeah.
it's like you
And
can get
it's
that.
I've read things and like I read a lot too, like the like things on what you speak about and other things, and it's like I don't want to be seen as like the cool person, but if you are honest with me and I agree with it, it would be fun to experience those things together, like probably later in the relationship, so that
Mm,
it doesn't get boring if we wanted to do that together. Or I would never I could never see myself being like, "Hey, can I be with another person?" I've never been like that. So like I
mm.
can't see that, but I've seen the guys now and they're like, even with the ex, he's like, how would you think, I really like this girl. I didn't mean to. It just happened, but what would you think if, she if I dated her? If
That's what
we
they would
dated
say.
if we dated her.
Shit. If we, I mean, I get it. You got to ask for that, but that happened is what you're saying.
Yeah, with the ex that I was in the open relationship with.
So wait. So did it start off as an open relationship or was it?
No, no.
Oh, so he kind of just. Oh my god, what a fucking loser! So hold on. So you tell me that like okay in the like down the line, then he was like, hey, I kind of started fucking with a girl. What do you think? Type of
Yeah.
vibes.
After like
No, my God. I was
he,
rooting for him. I was like, yeah, he's open, he honest, he was cool. He ain't no honest motherfucker. That's a punk. He was scared as hell. Damn,
well,
bro,
I
that
mean, but
sucks.
I still give him props though. Like he didn't go and like do it behind my back. He like, I wouldn't say get my permission, but he was like, "What do you think?" He gave me a choice. Is
Yeah.
what. So like, yeah, it did happen along like
Guys are
probably like
crazy.
a year and 8 months down the road.
These
But
guys, wow. Yeah.
yeah, so but I really had to sit with myself and I was like, do I really love this guy? And at the time I thought I did. I thought he was like the one,
Yeah, for sure.
but I know now that he was never and neither was the other one. My ex is still, But
Yeah, that's your number one. That's your stack.
yeah, like but yeah, so I sat with myself and I ended up saying, "Okay, you know what? I'll try it out." So it was me, him,
Uh,
and then we had a girlfriend, but I never did nothing with that girl and I never saw them do anything. I never saw him kiss her. She was like she would come over to the house and like we would cook like breakfast, dinner, or lunch together. And it was fun. It was like having like a friend with me.
Sister wives. Now I
But
like that. I love when women can get along together like that. It's just keep on though. I'm reminiscing. Go ahead.
like okay, so it was fun. Like she was a really nice girl too. She was really sweet.
Okay, cool.
And we got along, really well. And again, like I didn't see any of the sexual parts going on. And I think that maybe if I did, I maybe would have felt, I who knows what I would have felt, you know. But that was kept away for some reason, during that time. But as we like all
Cause
dated
he's
each
he's
other,
sneaky. He's sneaky. That's why. Like how he just kind of told you. I don't know how it happened. I guarantee that shit's been happening. he just now wanted to bring it up to you.
Well,
So
during
like,
that time, he had just like went to like school. Like he went to like uh
and
like
these
third.
motherfuckers, shit
He
don't
went
just
to
happen. These motherfuckers be out here. The dating pool sucks. I'm sorry, like y'all ladies, you guys got the dating pool so trash for y'all. Listen, Atlanta, you want the best dating results? Just move the pin, as in you lead them. You'll get the best results you possibly want. But these goddamn people are just. I'm listening though. Sorry, I just can't. I'll be irritated with when I be like, yo, these guys out here, bro. They just blow like, bro. Oh my god. Go ahead. Let me stop. Let me stop.
yeah, he went to nursing school, and then that's where he met her during that time. So, like she was her like he was she was his partner in class. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's how they
Man,
met.
it just
Yeah.
magically happened. Okay, I get it. Yeah, it just magically happened. Okay, cool. I'm saying.
Well, anyway, like but during that experience, I started to see him like, you know what? Like this is not really what I want. You know, and then like
For sure.
I started being more like distant. Like it was
Mm.
like the love disappeared in a way in a little bit. Like it wasn't the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like as fast as a pin drops, it was like one day it was just like, you know. And
Not fucking
then
with it.
and
Yeah.
then it started to get boring where like when it was just me and him, it was just like he just stayed in one spot and he was a gamer, so he was really like into games during that time. But it
Us.
was not something I always
He
wanted to
doesn't
do.
represent us gamers on this side. I'm just gonna say that. He doesn't represent us gamers. Go ahead though.
Yeah. And
By the
yes.
gods.
So yeah, anyway, I tried it out and I shortly left him a little, maybe like 4 months after that.
Mm-hmm.
But during that
And
time, it was like my love. I knew that he was not the one because I don't think when you find someone that you really love, that love can't just go away. When you know that person is, um, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like if somebody comes to me now and like outshines my ex, like where I'm not so in love with my ex,
yeah.
then I know that he must have not been the one because I don't think love can just disappear like that if that's truly the one that you love.
Mm. Yeah. True love, love, all that vibes. Shout out to the lovers. You know what I'm saying? Lovers only attract lovers. Hey, listen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite the experience. But also, thank you for sharing this on here. Thank you for having a conversation on this. I genuinely liked it, even though I had my outburst. I have to those. I'm just like I just can't be. I don't. It's this is reality. People do this, so I gotta stay level headed in that. Sometimes I just be like, what the fuck is going on? But regardless, I'm very grateful that you did share your experience. And even just when we talked about 360, that's what we're going to call them. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you may bring them up in a future conversation. I don't know why or how, but you just be like, yeah, 360. And I'm be like, oh, 360, I get it. But yeah, so, it's great that you shared that. And I appreciate you coming on here for having just talk about the experience and even just diving into like, my questions of curiosity as to why certain things happen. So I'm glad that you were very receptive. Is there anything else you'd like to leave off on before I go ahead and I'm about to end this soon. So if there's anything else you'd like to leave off on, you're more than welcome to say that. Of
No, I think I've said enough for this session, but I thank you so much for allowing me to share.
course. No, of course. You're more than welcome to come on the panels. And next time, like you said, I'm gonna keep your word to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep your
Yeah, I
word. You're like,
understand now.
yeah. You're gonna show your face. So hey, look, I got you. But thank you again for coming along and being a part of this. This was a great conversation. And it's Elena, right? Elena?
Yeah, Elena. Yeah.
Elena. So I gotta say it with like an accent. Hold on. Elena. How's
Yeah,
that?
you can say that, but most people say Elena, so you can say
Elena.
Elena.
No, no,
Yeah.
I want to say it like how, like with the act, Elena. Cause yo hablo, no, shit. Yo hablo español también. Elena. I'm gonna do my best, okay? Well, regardless, that was just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to practice Spanish, but thank you again for bringing yourself here for it. And I'm gonna end this live in a few, but we appreciate your participation.
All right, thank you, Professor. Bye, chat.
Sure. Have a good one. Peace.
Okay.
All right. That was one hell of a conversation. I really like that shit. I mean, see, this that just reinforced so much of a lot that I spoke on, but also just bringing to the topic of the conversation, which is better. But it's the thing. It's not about the superiority of which side is better. It's always based on what the individuals are doing. Because someone on the opposite end of open relationships could have a great foundation. So can someone in a monogamous relationship. And that's what it's all about: the communication, honesty, and the foundation of what you are bringing as a relationship. That is the only way it can be better than the other. I'm gonna end this live because in 8 minutes I actually got to go onto another live. It's posted on my community, so if you guys want to be a part of the journey, come join me on another live. We're gonna be in that bitch. We're gonna talk about chemistry, connection, love, all that jazz. Excuse me. I've been drinking sparkling water. My apologies. But my name is Oscar Izzy. Thank you guys for being here, and make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to Elena. I'm gonna do my best to keep doing it. Trust me that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Thank you to Boxing. Thank you to all those who came. Shout out to the ladies of iTalk who came to assist, add to the conversation, engage with us because we will be doing this every Friday. And if it's not every Friday, it will fall on another day. But that's when I will communicate to y'all. That's when it will happen. My name is Oscar Izzy. This has been a pleasurable conversation. I will be somewhere in about like literally 5 minutes. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna post it again. Fuck it. It's already on my community. If you want to see me again live in action on somebody else's channel, come join the All Star again. You guys have a great one. Thank you again for your time. Peace. We out of here.